All right, people, welcome back to Politically Homeless. I'm Dave, and I'm doing cutting-edge analysis here today on the show as we look at a recent email that was sent out by No Labels, that dark, shadowy group, which I am loosely affiliated with. I'm DeSantis in the primary, and then, some people think I'm going crazy because I'm not going down the conspiracy road on everything. And I've decided that as an American, I should be promoting something that could actually work. And I think this could work. Courage to put the country first. Be unified. Be brave. If you want to step forward and make a difference, sometimes you have to compromise, but at other times you have to just do what's right and bring some sanity back to government, and I think this could do it. Nothing is guaranteed, and honestly, folks, I don't know if there's a political solution to the problems that we have, but this email I got yesterday, and I think this is really important. Here's what it says. It isn't just President Biden's age and former President Trump's character that have American voters eager for another choice in 2024. Biden, Trump, and the parties they lead are committing the cardinal sin of electoral politics. They aren't addressing the issues voters care most about. This is why Ross Perot became a thing in 1992. Look at the top 3 concerns all Americans care about right now compared with the share of voters who think the Democratic and Republican parties focus on these issues. Now, granted, Republicans do better than Democrats on this, but they don't do well enough. So 32%, these are your top 3 issues right here. 32% care about price increases and inflation. 27%, immigration. Economy and jobs, 24%. So the Democrats focus on inflation only 8% of the time. They do not care about inflation. Immigration, 8%. We know that the Democrats are horrible on this issue, and the border problem needs to be addressed as soon as possible. And with the economy and jobs at number 3, they go from 24%, that's what voters care about, to only 13% think the Democrats focus on economy and jobs. Now, Republicans do a little better on everything. They do 14% on inflation, which still is really bad compared to the 32%. 20% on immigration, which again is better compared to the 27%. That's not that far off, and 12% better than the Democrats. But when it comes to the economy and jobs, I mean, it's almost the same. It's 1 point higher for Republicans versus Democrats. Here are the issues that American voters believe the Republican and Democratic parties most focus on today. Democrats, abortion, all the time, abortion. Every time there's a school shooting, it's guns, and school safety. But it's really about gun control, all right? 17%. Climate change, all right? Do you notice how climate change wasn't on those issues at all? It comes in at 17%. So yeah, that's the voters are right because they hear the messaging all the time. Now, Republicans do talk about immigration, which is a key issue. Republicans do talk about national debt, which again is it's a better issue than banning your guns. Abortion comes in here again, probably on the pro-life side of things, but still, isn't abortion pro-life or pro-abortion not in the top 3? And here's what they had to say here, I think is a creative statement. That sound you hear is our major parties whistling past the electoral graveyard as they fail to focus on the most pressing concerns of American voters. So if you're a candidate, these are my top 3 issues. I'm going to take care of inflation. I'm going to do something about immigration. And we've got to figure out how to stimulate the economy and create jobs. That's it. Those 3. If you did those 3, you would be winning. All right. Now, it says where you might wonder, could voters get this impression? Look at what President Biden and former President Trump emphasize on their social media channels. In the last month, President Biden's official campaign account has posted 58 messages. Just 4 have been about inflation, and only 6 have been about the economy and jobs. Meanwhile, former President Trump posted 58 messages on Truth Social over just 2 days. Man, he still is just a postaholic. He just can't stop. And 53% of the posts were about his polling numbers or the GOP primary. My polling numbers are great. They're fantastic. I'm leading Ron DeSanctimonious by 400%. On Truth Social, Trump has made no mention of inflation. Wow. And that's the number 1 issue for voters. Or the economy and jobs, the number 3 issue for voters since October 22nd. So he's posting like 58 messages a day, and he doesn't talk about inflation. That's crazy. And it says here, is it any wonder that the New York Times, while chronicling the findings of its recent poll with Siena College, wrote, in contrast with 4 years ago, the poll finds a disengaged, disaffected, and dissatisfied electorate, setting the stage for a potentially volatile campaign. Many voters only agonizingly support these 2 disliked candidates. So the New York Times, even admitting that they don't think Biden is liked. Good for them for, they, at some point, it's hard to ignore the hatred or I don't want to say hatred, but just the disdain for Biden and his policies. Some will shift as the campaign gets underway. So they're basically saying that views will shift. Others simply won't vote at all. True. You're going to get that a lot, especially from the normies walking around who are just like, please, just someone do something, and it's up to them and everybody else to get off their rear ends and get out there and do something about it. No labels critics, of course, continued to cling to the flawed idea that this dispiriting and depressing slog to next November is the best that American voters have a right to expect. This is why they're plowing ahead to offer our ballot line to a unity presidential ticket early next year. And it's why we have already released an agenda, Common Sense, loosely based on what Thomas Paine said and did, that we know expresses the voices of the millions of voters that Trump and Biden failed to reach, potentially propelling a unity ticket to the White House in 2024. It's been clear for some time that most American voters are not buying what Trump and Biden are selling. Voters deserve a better choice for the most important job in the world, and No Labels is prepared to offer one. Now, about Trump and Biden, let's talk about this briefly here, and then I'll wrap things up. So Donald Trump supposedly is now winning in the polls. He's ahead, and he's ahead by a lot. In the primary, he's ahead by a lot. And apparently, he's also ahead of Biden, or he's saying that he is. And then you're getting some polls from swing states that show that he's doing really well right now. Now, I'm just saying, for you Trumpers out there, I think this is a setup. And I'm pretty sure I said it in another video. The reason I think it's a setup is because there's no way the media is going to allow this. All right. I know Elon controls Twitter now. Whoop-de-doo. He doesn't control anything else. So the gaslighting will happen in the next few months. Of course, Trump is also seen going to court quite a bit to fight all these cases against him. By the way, I don't think it's fair that they're fighting cases against Trump. What they ought to do, if they want to show impartiality here, is to postpone all of these things till after the election. Seriously. And then if he's guilty, obviously he could pardon himself, but you're showing here that you're interfering with an election, all right? And I'll give the Trumpers a little red meat there. I don't like what's going on. If Trump did do something wrong, why not start the day he left office in 2021? Why didn't they start investigating him the day after he landed in Mar-a-Lago? That doesn't look good. It looks like we have a banana republic when you see stuff like that. Now, if Trump did do something wrong and he needs to be penalized for that, I don't see anything where it should be jail time. Some of it is free speech related stuff. But, making phone calls to elected officials and kind of searching around for votes, it's not like that's never been done before. See, I think Trump is his worst own enemy on this stuff because he just doesn't know how to have composure and keep his mouth shut. So he says stuff about the prosecutor, and everybody in the Trump tribe goes crazy. They love it, and they're celebrating. Boy, we're going to get him, and Trump's going to be reinstated. Just, and the QAnon folks and all of these, like, weird groups. If you do a search, especially on Rumble, you're going to find like 95% of the channels over there are devoted to like Donald Trump, almost worship. Okay. So that's the downside to Trump. The downside to Biden, all of his policies, okay, compared to Trump, all of Biden's policies suck. All right. Energy, Trump was better on energy. Trump was better for the economy, obviously, until we got to 2020. And should I hold that against Trump? Yes, because Trump signed the CARES Act and Trump said lock it down. Trump was the president in 2020. But here's the thing. Biden took all of that and just juiced it up and made it worse. Okay, now we've got record inflation, and supposedly inflation is holding steady, but prices aren't going down. Prices are still going up or staying where they are. And I don't know if you've been out to eat recently, but I'm thinking a lot of people now can't afford to go out to eat. They have to eat at home, which could be a bad thing if nobody in the house knows how to cook. So, and yeah, is that roughing it a little bit? Sure. I mean, Americans do that kind of thing. If they can't go out to eat, they won't. But the point is, the economy was bad when Biden took over on some metrics. But all of that stuff, like the gas prices, that hadn't fully kicked in until Biden started with the banning of drilling for oil on federal land and all these things he does to try to appease environmentalists. And you're just taking all of this fossil fuel from other places that have loose regulations. So they're doing more polluting, and we all live on the same planet. So it's like a game of checkers or shifting the shells around. It's a shell game, and now you put a shell over in the Middle East again, and then you've got the Russian conflict, which isn't helping things, and we're not doing anything to bring that to an end. So maybe the economy can resume, the global economy, which we're definitely tied to, which I wish we weren't so tied to. But in any event, Biden has no clue. Bottom line, Trump had a clue. Biden has no clue. And I think really what we're looking at here is a stalemate between bad and worse. All right? That's what we're looking at. Trump is bad. Biden is worse. So this opens the door for some common sense people to come in and say, let's fix these problems, these top three issues. One more time on the top three issues: inflation, immigration, and then economy and jobs. That's all you got to know. And if a candidate will just run on those things and is able to articulate those things and communicate in a way that people can understand it, including people who are usually on the sidelines, you'd have a record turnout. You could run positive ads that say, look, tired of this guy, tired of this other guy, all right? Just show pictures of Biden falling down the steps, show Trump looking like he's 100 years old on the golf course. They both say stupid stuff, so the sound bites would be easy. And say, look, we want to get back to serious governing, adults in the room. We can fix this, but we need your help. And we need you to put the tribes aside and vote for common sense and vote to save the country, because that's what this is about. Now, are there things about no labels and no labels candidates I'm going to not like? Yes, I can guarantee it. But if they focus on these three issues and they follow through with those solutions, the country will be better. And then we can squabble about these other issues like guns and abortion and the environment. We can fight it out, but first we got to get our house in order. And can we do all of it? Sure. But apparently the average voter can't handle doing all of it at the same time. That's what it seems like. So focus on the three, focus on the most important issues, speak to the people's needs, and get this runaway inflation under control, interest rates, all of that. And I think you have a winning presidential campaign. Now, if you're going to vote for somebody based on personality, you're probably not going to like whoever No Labels picks, because you're not going to get the circus. You're going to get a couple of guys or a couple of ladies or whoever who are going to be about fixing the problem, and they're going to be committing to that idea. So we shall see how it all works out. I don't know. But I like this. I like this agenda because this is much like Ross Perot looking under the hood and saying, this is what's wrong with the car. Let's fix these problems, and then we can maybe talk about the other stuff down the road. All right, so that's my video on this. Not exciting, but I think important. And here we are, November 15th of 2023. And as I say this, it appears, unless DeSantis can pull something off here, it appears that it will be Trump against Biden again, which I'm not looking forward to.